Hello, this is Johnny B. Bad, 6661 John F. K. Page again. There's something that I wanted to do in life, was become a combat jet pilot for the U.S. Navy or Air Force, preferably the Navy because the aircraft carriers. And, combined two of my favorite loves was boating and aviation. They combined both of them in the same world, which is cool as shit. You'd be on the water, fly your plane around over water, land yourself on a mobile deck in the middle of the water, which is pretty fucking cool. And they also had float planes too, I think, that back in the 80s, or I think they might have phased out their Catalinas, I don't know. But anyway, my mother didn't give a fuck. She didn't. I don't think she had to have the wherewithal to put me in or contact people saying that my son wants to do this. You put him and groom him, and put him into a program that can groom him to become a pilot later on in life. And she didn't have. I guess she didn't have the wherewithal. And I tried to ask around, and hopefully people will put me in the right path. But obviously the Detroit public school system didn't give a shit back in the 80s. I expressed interest in becoming a combat jet pilot. That's when the teacher should have stood up and said, look, we need to put this kid into a school with a better student clientele where he can become what he wants to be. But obviously they didn't give a shit. And I began to think at this point that my mother was just using me for welfare. Get people collect welfare. And she wasn't, I don't want to say not too bright, but she dropped out of school herself, and she barely had a GED. She didn't even have a GED or nothing like that. But anyway, that's besides the point. And also, I don't know, I have to explain the scenario to you later. I don't know what constitutes an SA victim, me volunteering to do the act, or not volunteering, but I don't want to say volunteer, but I'll explain it later. This is back when I was a kid. That's it. I don't know if that makes me, I don't know. I have to explain the scenario later and let the people determine what that is, if I was or wasn't an SA victim. When I'm more comfortable with the situation. And that's about it. I can't cry with spilled milk. I could have been sitting a lot prettier today than where I am right now. I could probably have been a commercial airline pilot, making some buku bucks right about now. Getting set for retirement. Could have probably been retired by now. But anyway, that's about it. This confession, I hope it doesn't make people mad at me or whatever. But I'll explain it to you later. Explain the situation I went through later. Explain the situation I went through about the SA later in detail, and you can make a determination. Me being an SA victim, and you can make that determination if I was a victim or not. This happened back when I was a teenager and like between 11 and teens in that area, you know. Well, when I'm more comfortable, I explain the situation. But anyway, do not, and this is a clear warning to parents that have their kids in an urban school environment. Do not let when your kids are having trouble or whatever, and they're not having their dreams recognized or being groomed to go into the field they want to go into, like aviation mechanics, architecture, whatever. And they're not being paid attention to, and the parents are not quite giving a fuck. Someone needs to step in and redirect that child. You should have like a third party to step in and say, look, we're going to take over this situation. Because the school system ain't worth the fuck, the parent ain't worth the fuck. Let's jump in and help this person. Like military people, like military combat jet pilots and military pilots. I wish the military person would have took me in during the 8th this weekend. I wish my grandparents would have raised me too, but anyway. A lot of things we should have told my grandparents. But anyway, I can't cry with spilled milk right now. It's too late, too far gone. I'm 56 years old. I can give the warning and help other parents and kids and stuff like that to go out and seek help at this point in their education and being essayed. I was essayed. I don't know if it was a legit essay or not, but like I said, I'll explain the situation later when I'm more comfortable explaining it on the internet. Okay, as best as I can recall, back in the 80s, late 70s, early 80s. All right, have a good one, and I will hopefully gratefully appreciate your patience when I explain my situation to you at a later date. Have a good one, and sorry to bring that confession up to you, but hey, when you grow up in a ghetto environment such as Detroit, and the way it looks fucking now, it's pretty fucked up. The school system was fucked up. Like I said, expressed interest in becoming a pilot, but they didn't pursue it. Or put me in the right direction or the right path and put me in touch with the right people. They could groom me into that particular field, so to speak. Becoming a combat jet pilot or even just a commercial airline pilot, I couldn't make the combat jet pilot criteria. But anyway, have a good one, and appreciate you listening to me, and hopefully I won't lose any followers or lose any respect for anybody, because I'm an essay victim. Suppose, like I said, I have to explain if I was a true essay victim or not. I don't know. But anyway, I'll explain it to you later when I get the chance. Not now, when I'm more comfortable. Have a good one.